What I wish I knew at 20 instead of 30. The real raw truth. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Shorty Logic podcast, where we indulge in the messiness of reality and hold nothing back. If you're tired of sugar-coated conversations, you've found your tribe. Join us every Monday at 8:00 p.m. Eastern, 7:00 p.m. Central, for discussions that challenge your perspective and push boundaries. From controversial topics to holding ourselves accountable, we dive deep into the bold and the brave. Laugh, cry, and get real with us. So hit that subscribe button, share with your friends, and let's get uncomfortable together. See you Monday nights. Don't just listen, join the conversation. Shorty Logic Podcast, where truth gets real.
What up, everyone? This is the Shorty Logic podcast. I am Shorty Logic, and I have some extraordinary guests tonight. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Denisha. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a cook, also travel agent, also single mother of 3.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Saeed Asante, man. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm the founder of the Urban Development Institute, which is a business school in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. I just want everybody to know, man, Mr. Doctor right there, he came connect with me. We had conversations, y'all, and I'm letting y'all know he gonna be seeing him a lot. You know, we doing collaboration on virtual on the podcast and in the city. We're gonna be doing a lot of different events, you know, schooling for kids, you know, and just for a lot of different things. So y'all definitely want to tune into that. Definitely want to tune into that, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic tonight. And the topic is to be an open discussion. And so any discussion goes. Whatever pops to your mind, it goes. We'll talk about it, discuss it, however. And then we got some videos that we will be looking at and also responding to that. So I got one question for y'all. Each one of y'all, what do loyalty and what is loyalty to each one of y'all? Any one of y'all can go first.
Yeah, I jump in. Come from the streets, man. Loyalty is like honor and respect, you know what I'm saying, and appreciating your fellow comrades, you know what I'm saying, and being dedicated to their cause, and you being dedicated, you know what I'm saying, to their cause as well.
Right.
You know, and being there for them at times, maybe when they don't even know that, you know, you need to be there for them, you know what I'm saying? So it's like always looking out and always being there for them.
All right. Okay.
Definitely agree with that. And basically, yeah, what you said, having each other back, even when the times get rough. Even sometimes you got to correct your friend, even if they don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
And always pressuring somebody to do better for themselves.
Facts. That's true. You know, because I believe in, saying, like everything I just said, and loyalty goes deep. You know what I'm saying? It goes deep, but you don't want to be a fool either.
What you said.
You know what I'm saying? So with this video we're about to play, it goes into that, and we're gonna have a discussion about that.
Already.
Asking black women. Don't give people a ride who won't push your car when you out of gas.
But you won't know.
Oh, you'll know.
Loyalty
Yeah.
is not tested when it's convenient for you.
Yes.
Loyalty is only tested when things are inconvenient for you.
Don't confuse loyalty for consistency. Just because they always around don't mean they loyal. Don't.
Deep.
No, that was hard.
That was it. You know. So what is y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, I think that's true, bro. You know, because some people do, you know, get along for the ride. Or if you got something popping or you got some motion, you feel me? People will jump on board, you know, trying to do their thing or whatever. But it's got to go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't popping, you know what I'm saying? If you struggling and you going through it, your people still need to be there for you.
That's true. That is so true. What you think, Denisha?
Basically, yeah. Loyalty, some people are there for the ride. some people will try to ride the ride until you have nothing. Then when you have nothing, they'll just disappear.
That show can happen a lot. You know, it happen more than what you think. You know what I'm saying? The percentage of that is real high. I don't know the exact, but it's high because, you know, as long as you have something to, you know, that they want, they'll ride for you. But as soon as you don't, they'll leave. You know what I'm saying? So what was they really there for?
Man.
What was they really there for? You know, so
yeah.
My whole thing just here, man, you got to vet, you got to pay attention to these people. You got to pay attention to every word and everything that people say.
Yeah.
And if what they show you, who they are, believe them.
For sure.
Believe
now, when I was down the way, I called it an extended vacation. You feel me? So when I was down the way, we say things like, you know, people may got secret feelings and secret intentions. You feel me?
That part.
You definitely need to be aware of people who's around you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nobody being no leeches or energy stealers. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. That's facts. That is fact. Because, you know, that energy thing is something else, man. It's so real. You know what I'm saying? Just a person being, they don't have to say nothing. It can just suck the energy from you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go ahead.
Then some people just, they love your energy. So they want to get the karma from being around you. That good energy from you, which brings them good abundance.
Right. That is true. You know, because like, if you want those people, if you know you very genuine in everything within you do, you know, people see that and people want to latch on that. But as people who's doing everything in the kind of their heart, sometimes unfortunately you get used by that.
For sure.
Get used by it.
You know, in the spiritual world, right? I got a doctorate in metaphysics, right? So in the spiritual world, they talk about these particular type of energy suckers, like vampires or what they call a succubus or incubus, right? Incubus is a male that steals your energy, and a succubus is a female that steals your energy. You feel me?
That's it. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because, man, boy, I call them vampires.
Straight up.
I call them vampires. You know, so with that being said, you know, so we kind of talked about that, just about, hey, loyalty is something is real, but also people can show fake loyalty, you know, fake loyalty.
Yeah.
And we just, you know, we got to watch out for that, man. We got to watch out for that. You know, we have to teach. Here's the problem. Kids having kids. Parents ain't really watching their kids. Parents ain't really teaching their children about things. You know, so they really defending for themselves and they're just learning whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need to, just as Black people at that, we need to start coming together.
Yeah.
Really do. Start teaching us. Even if you don't know, you should find the people who somewhat knows and learn from them.
Yes,
That's how I feel.
It's good to have a teacher or a mentor. My homie, man, he broke something down to me one day. I always used to think about if you're using people, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I ain't trying to use nobody. But the homie said, nah, you can use people, bro. Just don't misuse people. You feel what I'm saying? So that kind of stuck in my head for, like, it took me a minute to grab that. I'm like, dang, because people do play a role in your life, right?
Right.
Or not. But, you know, you got to know how to deal with people.
This is true. You got to know how to deal with people. You really do. You know what I'm saying? And like you said before, you have to use that person, but don't take advantage of that person, or don't even try to, you know what I'm saying? I posted, you know what I'm saying? It's about, I should learn something from you. You should learn something from me. You know what I'm saying? If I can't learn something from you, why are you in my life? Or why are you around? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody gets used in one way or another.
In another way, in some way, how? Yes, everybody get used.
Yeah, you know, in business and in relationship, it's gonna be a partnership one way or another.
One way or another. That is true. That is so true. You know, we have to take the time as people, man. I don't care what race you are. You have to take the time as people. You know, just to, you know, really care for someone, really want to know how that person is doing, or what it be. If being invested in someone, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't take money. it doesn't take money. It just take a kind person. You know, you gotta be watch out because people take kindness for weakness and everything. But people just not kind today, especially here in America. They're not. They're not. So we're gonna get it rolled up into this next video. Is this, like I said, it's open conversation. So if anything pops in y'all head, we'll talk about it. You know, so this next video here is about, you know, family. It's about family. Okay. You know, sometimes you gotta put family to the side. You can love them from a distance. Yeah. So before that was said, I'm going to head to the next one.
Can't choose your family. You can love them, but you can love them from a distance too. And there are a lot of my family members that I've had to learn to love from a distance. They call me, I'm like, yeah, I'm here. You need something, let me know. But I can't have you in my life because you're toxic. You're poisonous. You can't choose your family.
You can't choose your family.
Yeah.
But you can love them from a distance. Straight up. I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation several times. You know, I used to, every time a family member asked me something, yes, I do this and do that. But come around when I need that help, I don't get it. Mm-hmm. So I have to learn to, you know, I can love you to death, but I gotta love you with my arm standing out right there.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Yeah, man. I think family is you know, it's like, you know, being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? When you first meet somebody, you really need to get to know the person.
Right.
You know, like vetting them up. It's like being on a couple dates. You know what I'm saying? Before you do something with somebody, man, you really want to know if this person really, you know what I'm saying, somebody you want to have in your life or anybody you want to do business with or continue, you know what I'm saying, a relationship with.
That is true. What you got, Night Bright?
Sometimes distance helps the family get closer.
That can help. You know, time, distance. Yeah, that definitely help.
Yeah, and it basically heals wounds, help you focus on yourself more, and help you figure out your boundaries with the family.
Yeah.
You said something. Boundaries. Everyone needs to know their boundaries. Everyone needs to set boundaries. That's one of the biggest issues people have. Because majority of the time, you don't know what your boundaries are. Hell, I just learned what my boundaries just last year. You know, just with people. You know, family member, relationship, business wise. You know, just in, you know, boundaries. I learned that.
Yeah,
you know?
and sometimes boundaries is challenging, man, because you don't, like you was talking about, man, telling your people no. Sometimes, like, it's hard to not be there for your people the way they want you to be there.
Right.
Because you can really only be there the way you can be there.
True.
They might want more from you than you can offer. And, you know, that goes different kind of ways. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes they don't like it.
Yeah, sometimes they don't like it.
No, sometimes they just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So just pay attention, man. You have to pay attention to people. You have to pay attention to people. You know, I got multiple cameras going on, so yeah.
You can hold it down, hold it down, Shorty.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, Short Logic podcast, the Short Logic period, man. The whole brand is about come out and speak the truth and tell what you're going on in your mind. We can help you, we might not. You know what I'm saying? But just take the time and come in, comment, and do what you need to do. We've been going to this video right here. Next video, it might be triggering for some people.
I think black people have this may ruffle some feathers, but I don't give a fuck. I feel like black people have revolutionized poverty and made it look so fucking cool that people think we like it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
I think that black people have made poverty look so cool that people think we fucking like it, bro. We don't like it. We're just making the best of it.
Even the trauma that come from it, niggas aspire to it.
Like,
niggas want to be a tough nigga. You don't realize this nigga ain't tough. This nigga just watched his daddy die and his mama on drugs and like his life. That nigga traumatized. That nigga got PTSD. He ain't tough,
but he got
he's traumatized. And to the point where a nigga could grow up in a home like this and aspire to be from the projects.
It's because, unfortunately, people think that blackness is tied to poverty. They think that the black experience is being poor. That's why when you have others who equate poverty to being black. Or I don't have any privilege. I grew up poor. Why the fuck do you think because you've been broke that you know what it feels like to be black? No, you don't. You've just been poor.
Well, I think that those people that say they're just liars. It's just like cut
I
and
think
dry.
that, like I said, we've made poverty look so easy and so cool that they think that
Well,
it's
we just are
synonymous.
cool. You're not gonna take
Correct.
the cool. You're not gonna take the
This
rhythm.
is for the cool.
Yeah, you're not gonna take the rhythm out of black people's steps. You're not gonna keep black people quiet.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It made me think about sometimes on Sunday mornings, man, I be watching different ministers, right? Do they thing, and one of them that's kind of cool for real is like the guy named Michael Todd, and Michael Todd talks about having a poverty mindset and a purpose mindset. You know what I'm saying? So your mindset can really help you, or it can hurt you. You know what I'm saying? If you got the wrong mindset, and if you got a purposeful mindset, right, you kind of begin to direct your life and put yourself in position to make the choices and the challenges that you need to be a part of to, set your life on the right path. Or, right, you can just have a poverty mindset and set your life on a bad path.
Yeah, but coming to find out, the poverty mindset could be genetics also. It could be something that's passed down genetically.
Mm-hmm.
Good right there. That's good right there. That was good, man. And you said, genetic. I don't know about the genetic thing.
Mm-hmm. It could come down genetically wise. I heard it from.
Now,
I forgot what book.
I hear you a little bit. You know what I'm saying, about things like that being hereditary, right?
Yeah.
You inherit it, right? It's your environment. You know what I'm saying? If my mama really don't got no goals and no pursuits, and my father ain't got no pursuits or not being there, and my cousins and my brothers, like even when you try to do something good sometime in the hood, people talk you out of your dream if you let them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You're right. People can't target, but that also comes from the state of mind. It's how you want to think, how you want to move, how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? Take me for example. I come from a poor home. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina, little ass city. There ain't nothing there. I come from family that did this and did that, or people who want to live in the hood, be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But I took what I seen. I took myself and said, no, I want to do better for myself. So I went to the Army and joined for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Then I got out and I had a hard time when I getting out. I couldn't keep a job. You know what I'm saying? Because my mind frame, people don't understand. Being in the military, it's a different world. So for years I couldn't get out that mind frame, but I had to really go get help to even think about the things I want to do. Once again, everyone, therapy is good. It's not bad.
It's great. It's
great.
Therapy, yeah.
Yeah, therapy is real good. So now look at me. I took something me just doing on Facebook, something just crazy, and I turned it into a company. It's still building itself. So I think hereditary, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't agree or disagree. I'm agree or just saying, cause I can't say yeah, can't say no, because I don't know the full science of that. But I like a lot of things that we do. I feel like 80% of things we do in life is mindset.
Yeah, the desire to want to change.
Yeah.
The desire to want to, break those generational curses, break that habit.
Yes.
It's not easy though. It takes a lot of work.
It does, and it's a battle. It's a battle every day. It's a battle, So I make things so I don't have to be in the streets or just dealing with the foolery. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your mindset. It's what you really want to do. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, because ain't nothing in life is easy. But you have to take the steps to go where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I'm sorry, I don't think like the music industry is one of the biggest influence in the world. The music is one of the biggest influence, and especially the rap. I understand they're rapping about, what they went through or what environment they came from. But guess what? Oh, they're talking about I had to go sell this and sell that to make ends meet. What's wrong with you going to McDonald's to flip burgers? You know what I'm saying? Or working your way, go to community college if you can't go to pristine college, or go to a pristine college, become a doctor, or come to fly a plane to fly the spinning skies. So I feel like it's still a mindset. Everything we're talking about right now, I feel like it's a mindset.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
rap does glorify poverty. It
Facts.
glorifies it.
Facts.
It makes it seem like it's cool, like it's a badge of honor.
Facts.
It's not cool.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. And then these kids these days, man, they just it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess.
You know, coming from gang life, right? When you affiliated, it's a lot of peer pressure to not be successful unless it's the success idea or image that the gang set for you.
Right.
And so, like when you dress up like this, when I was younger, we always make fun of people who dress up because we always associate them with being a pastor or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we disassociate, you know what I'm saying, with a style or a way of life that can really better you or benefit you because of your peers around you. You know what I'm saying? And people be grown and be thinking that, well, because you're grown, you don't get peer pressure. Your whole neighborhood can peer pressure you not to go a certain kind of way.
That's true. That is true. And I can honestly say I'm not saying I'm immune to it, but I have a pretty strong mindset. I have my own willpower. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids, I mean, how they grew up. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I've seen that. You know how the gangs, you know, peer pressure to join. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, I feel like a lot of times it happens because a lot of these kids didn't have the role model that they should have.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So
or they just want a family.
Just want a family.
Mm-hmm.
Just want a family.
And you know, back to what you said too, Shorty, you did your stint, right? You did your 10 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes people be wanting to change, right? But we just don't know how to. We ain't got the proper tools or the proper mentors. A lot of my mentors told me pack a gun, get the drugs, get as many as women you can get. And when you really get into a business mindset, none of it applies to where I'm trying to go with.
Right. That's true. That is true. I can't. Yeah, that is true. And but you know, I was fortunate to have some of those type of role models to, you know, so went to the path that I did go. You know, went going to the military. You know, like I said, I did in my 10 years in there. You know, so I kind of had the role models, and the ones that I didn't see role models, I seen people. You know what I'm saying, like. Going straight from high school and joining, I was in JROTC in high school. My whole 4 years of high school, I was in JROTC. So I went and did that, you know. So that also prepared me to join the military, you know. So I was already in that mindset of doing that because I didn't want to do this other stuff to everybody. I got cousins, good friends of mine, just in the streets and always getting locked up, always in trouble, always getting shot at, always in fights. I didn't want to live that type of life. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that, like, I don't smoke at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't do. I mean, I indulge a little bit of drinking. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't smoke at all because I came from a family that hell, my grandfather, hell, he sold it. You know what I'm saying? My mother was on dope, you know what I'm saying? So I seen the damages. So that I think that's also something that steered me away from that. So you can take a lot of things that happen negative in your life, you can always turn to the positive, if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have a desire. You definitely got to have the desire for it.
You got to have the desire.
Turn your mess into a message and turn your lesson into a testimony.
Big facts.
Okay,
big facts. That is big facts. So we can go on down here to this next video right here. Right here we go.
You can't be with someone who is unable to see wrong in themselves. They'll never see the right in you. Now don't let that go over your head.
See?
Yeah, it's deep.
That goes into narcissism. You know, narcissism. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot see the wrong within yourself, how can you see the wrong within others?
Yep.
I couldn't do this podcast if I didn't see the wrong in myself.
True.
I'll be a hypocrite, right?
Okay.
So, you know, so when I seen that video, I was like, man, I got to have that video because that's powerful, because most people don't see anything that they do wrong. And that goes into narcissism.
Like Michael Jackson said, start with the man in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was a good one. Oh, look, got a comment. Hey, Auntie.
Hey, Auntie. Hey, Auntie. No. Yeah.
We in here, Auntie. We in here. So this next video right here is about to play it's a man speaking, but he's talking about his safe space within a relationship. But once the video finish, I'm also going to elaborate into it because I feel like it can go both ways. Because in relationship, you got to have safe space. You know, so let's go on into it.
You want me to provide safety for you, but you cannot reciprocate it for me. I deserve to feel safe too. A number of black men internally, their internal world is not safe. And yet you want me to provide you with safety that I don't even know for myself. When I say to you that you've harmed me, you give me this rigmarole, that's not safe. When I tell you I'm tired, you get so wrapped up in your responses that you don't even give me the space to be fucking tired. That's not safe. I say to you that I don't feel connected to you. I say to you that you are not meeting my emotional needs. I say to you that I do not feel the way that you talk to me is uplifting, and you continue to do it. That's not safe. But yet you want me to continue to go out in this world and come back and do all of this stuff. You don't want me. You want your idea of me. And if I don't fit that idea, you begin rejecting me. That's not safe.
Thank you.
You throwing it, boy.
Hey, that's strong right there. And so I'm gonna start off, with it. A lot of times, you know, we as men, you know, just as men, you know, we have to hide our weakness. You know, we have to stay strong. We can't show tears. We have to make sure she's all right. You know, to make sure she should have her safe space. You know, but at the same time, we don't get that back. You know what I'm saying? So, well, my point of that is, you have to know the person. You have to know your person. You have to know the person. And just like as women need their safe space as well. They need to let their hair down. They need to feel safe and desired in all those aspects right there. So it goes either way. You know, either way, both of them, we all want the same thing. But I posted and said, you know, men and women don't speak the same language. We need to understand each other. Yes, we do. But women need to understand that a man is not going to react and respond and do the things in the way as a woman would do. And men need to understand that women, majority of the time, are not going to react and respond in the way that we will respond. So at the end of the day, we need to understand each other and give each other safe spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, what are y'all responses on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, you know, you got to have good communication. Right? And then you got to be willing to be unselfish, right? And you have to also be willing to be compromising. You know what I'm saying? It can't be demanding all the time, right? Because a lack of somebody accepting your demands or giving too much, you know, you could be in a disrespectful place, right? You really don't respect that person, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To even take the time to listen to their side of the story, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a me thing. It's all about me, and it's supposed to be about we.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people got to open their mind. It's two of us now. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one no more.
Facts. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. What you got, Ms. Nightbright?
You gotta learn each other's love language. Basically, how they love each other. Everybody got different ways of loving each other. Some people like words of affirmation. Some people like actions.
Yeah, that's true. You know, that's so true. But me going to that video, when I actually listen to the words and everything, he's been hurt, just like a lot of men has been hurt. You know, a lot of times, unfortunately, you know, a lot of women don't like it they don't like nowadays. Men are speaking up. They are speaking up, and they are trying to show this and show that, but it get weaponized. I feel like people put people in situations or positions that person didn't ask to be in or shouldn't be in. So until the person prove themselves to be in that position, meaning you're gentle with my emotions. If I come to you with my weakness, you're not going to weaponize that or try to use it against me in a future argument. You're going to be just nurturing, and also I need to learn something from you.
Yeah. I think also, it's that terminology, man, about, you got to hold yourself accountable too. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, yes.
Want people to put in, right? But are you going to hold yourself accountable to put in?
Yes.
Right. And to be receiving it all, because you can just be rejected to everything that's irritating to you in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It can be discomforting. Right. But, if y'all going to be together, y'all going to have to work this thing out. Right. So y'all got to come to a place where both y'all going to be able to benefit, but understand I ain't going to be able to win all the time.
That's true. And communication and compromising is one of the biggest things that is in any type of relationship. Compromising. I got to give something, or you got to give something, or I'm going to take something. It's a give and take. I tell people all the time, relationship, no matter what type of relationship, is work. It's always something to improve.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And one of the biggest things is communication. People don't have the same communication. You have to understand. People don't have correct or good enough dialogue. That's just my what I see.
No, I agree with you on that, Shorty. Yeah.
Right. Well, see, when you said something, when you had said something, this video is gonna be further down, but I want to go into this. What is in a relationship? What is red flags to y'all?
That goes back to like Nightbright was saying. That love language. You know what I'm saying? We got different red flags. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when you got trauma, you know what I'm saying, your red flag could probably be not even a flag for real, right? You just traumatized and it's affecting you a certain kind of way. It's not even, like the person might not even be really into or what you're perceiving what's going on, right? You got to really take the time to fall back and see if it's really, harming you in the way that you think that it is.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Ms. Nightbright?
A red flag for me is person not taking self accountability.
Okay. And see, my thing, accountability, I'm all about the accountability. I'm all about the self-improvements, but this red flag sign, this statement has been made into a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? It's been demonized, so a lot of times your red flag might not be my red flag. My red flag not be yours. So it all depends on the person. So within that next video, I'm gonna go ahead and play that.
So what has transpired over the last few years is the social media sphere has thrown the word red flag into the everyday lexicon of human beings, you feel me? So now the word is often overused, and it's used in a very dramatic and visceral way to point out things that we don't approve in other people. Another human being cannot tell you what red flags should be to you. Therefore, they can't inform you of the questions to ask as far as what red flags are for you. You may be a conservative Catholic. A red flag for you would be any man that's not. It's not to say he's a bad man. It's to say that a red flag just means that this is a point to stop and investigate further. Red flags don't have to be these glaring flaws in people. It doesn't have to be an evil, conniving, manipulative man and shit like that. It's just a man who has things that you investigate. And those investigations don't always mean deal breaker either. You feel me? Like, bro, people have taken this notion of investigating another person and made, like Mike said, made it this game to where you have to weave and manipulate and try to get through unscathed. Hey, listen, y'all, I'm sorry to say this. When you dating, you gonna get hurt. It's a part of the game. And if you're not built for that, it's okay if you stay in the house. If you don't understand that intimacy, allowing people to come close to you, comes with the risk of them not knowing how to handle what they find.
Woo! At the ending, if you're afraid to get hurt, don't date.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the house.
Yeah.
Stay in the house, y'all.
Yeah.
Because it's always a risk. But you can minimize. I feel like you can minimize the risk if you vet the person enough. That's the problem. We're too focused on, oh, she fine, she got a big booty, big titty. Oh, he got money, he got status, he got accolades and stuff like that. So we so focused on that instead of actually vetting the person well enough. Don't get me wrong, you will never know a person all the way, but you should know them enough. Should know them enough.
Yeah. I like one of y'all previous shows. I think Riri was on that show too. The one you call Auntie, right? Y'all was talking about when you first meet someone, 9 times out of 10, you just meet their representative, right?
Ooh, yes. I remember that.
I might just say if I like Night Bright, right? I'm gonna listen for a second, but I'm not just gonna just be rude and obnoxious and give her all the things I know that a woman not interested in. I'm gonna feed into some stuff that I know that she might like, so I can get her attention.
Correct. Right.
But I'm only really giving her my representative because I don't want to run off. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people. When that show came up, I still get ridiculed for this day because I say it all the time. I say this all the time. I'm gonna say, even though that video said, I'm gonna say red flags. I'm gonna say deal breakers, red flags and deal breakers. With all those put in there, I feel like no matter how good an actor a person is, no matter how good that they putting on, signs is always shown. But we tend to ignore it because we are, how can I put this? We are so in lust, or we're so infatuated with the person. So we tend to ignore, oh, it wasn't that bad, or we don't see it at all. But majority of the time you see it, you just ignore it. I could be wrong, but that's what I see.
Now you hitting shorter.
Yeah,
go ahead, Bright.
Basically, sometimes people feel like if they see these deal breakers, they could change a person. They could end up molding a person.
That could be a red flag.
Okay, you said molding a person. So I'm gonna ask you, Night Bright. Do you think that everyone try to mold people? Because I see like we try to mold a person the way we want to be treated and the way we want to be loved. I feel like if you teaching a person the way to talk to you, the way to treat you, ain't that some way to be molding someone?
Yes.
I could be wrong.
And then putting that pressure on them to better themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like, I know I feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching, I'm showing a person how I want to be treated. I'm showing a person how I want to be loved. Just like a woman is teaching a man how she wants to be loved, how she want to be talked to, how she wants to be held, how she wants to be made love to.
That love language again.
There you go. There we go.
I used to teach my little brother and them, man, when they was still in the streets, you know what I'm saying, before they try to, swing on this side with me, is, when you dealing with people, man, you really got to understand who they are. And I would always tell them, they can only hide for so long. Eventually, that person's going to reveal themselves.
Yes. Yes. You're going to hide for so long. So long. With that being said, we're going to the next video.
You think that I'm fine? You think the smile means that I'm okay? That I have everything figured out? Man, I am empty. But I gotta keep going because that's all I've ever known to do. Just keep going.
It made you think, didn't it?
Oh, that's heavy right there, dog.
It made you think, didn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It made when I first heard it, I was like, damn. Man, I had to watch it like 6 times. I'm like, damn. I was listening to words and I read the words at the same time. You know, I'm showing that I'm okay.
Right.
I'm showing you. I'm still acting the fool, being jokeful, being friendly, being just out hanging out. But I'm dying on the inside. I've been through depression, but people didn't never know it because I didn't show it until I exploded.
It can happen.
You know? So this was I say this. I was working at this one job and I was working around, customers and everything. And I was having a real bad day. Like I was going through it, bad. Just I was down and I was just like, I want it to be over. Just everything. Right? So I'm at this arcade. And I'm a mechanic and I'm working and I got, the machine broke down, so I had to go fix it right then while the customer was still right there. This particular machine is for blind and different handicapped people, and you can still play it. And while I'm working on this game, the blind man, I never said one word to the man. The blind man said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "I'll be almost done with the machine. It's almost fixed." He said, "No, I want to talk to you. I get this energy that you are down, you're depressed." I'm like, wow. I'm in my head, I'm like, well, how would you know it? Do you know me? He's no, I feel this. I feel like you're going through some relationship or something just with family or life. So tell me why I sit and watch him play that game, and we had a conversation for 2 hours, and I felt so better. I felt better. So I feel like that type of energy can give off even to a blind person. And I ain't said one word to the man. He spoke to me, and he picked that up from me.
Yeah.
Because I was going through, matter of fact, I think I was going through a divorce at the time. So it was like, yeah, I feel that. A lot of people don't understand. I could smile. Just like I work at a hospital. I smile all day long. I mean, people don't know what I'm going through. I have my ups and downs. Like I said, people hide it.
Yeah. Like I think in the black community, right, especially for black men, you don't really take it time, right? As a word that you used earlier, right, is to engage into therapy or those safe spaces where you can have it time to just pour out, right?
Right.
And I also think it relates to your boundaries, understanding your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Right. When you overload it like that or empty like that, is because you really have not paid attention to the boundaries, or you have not set no boundaries for yourself.
I agree.
So it's boundaries that you keep people to a distance, but then there's a boundary where you only go so far, right? You don't want to get burnt out and nothing like that.
Right.
And I didn't really get that all the way until I really had tried to get this certification for being a peer support specialist. So in that whole process, I wanted to learn more about people's mindsets and emotions and try to help them with that. But really, I was getting more out of it personally, you know what I'm saying, than trying to be someone to help others with.
Right. That's good. And it's good that you seen your strength and everything. You seen your strength and you seen where your weakness at, and you follow through and look what you at. You're trying to help others. Be succeed, succeed in life. So and off the back of that, when I first started this show, when I started this whole platform, I just started for the fun of it. I didn't even think I was gonna like it, but I did. I made the LLC, I made it to a company and did everything. I put money behind it. I work at a hospital, and like I said, I was at a hospital and I walked by this doctor every day. I seen this particular doctor every day. Man never spoke to me ever, and I've been almost 3 years. The man never spoke to me, and I forgot what episode it was. I think episode 80, I believe. I don't remember the title, but it was like 80. Tonight make 251. But the man stopped me and he said, I seen you somewhere. I said, yeah, you see me every day at work. He said, no, I seen you online. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being dumb to see what he knows. You know, I seen you on YouTube. I said, yeah, I'm on YouTube. I do stuff. He said, no, you got like a show or something. I said, yeah. I said, well, ask him what the name was. He told me the name. He said, this particular episode, me and my wife were going to go get a divorce. And we seen this particular episode now because of you and your show. It made us think twice and actually work it out and go to therapy. Self, you know what I'm saying? He said that particular show, it showed him where he was wrong and where he was lacking at. And it showed her where she was wrong, where she was lacking at. And I guess it worked for them.
Yeah. That's powerful, Shorty, because, you know, I don't watch a couple of your episodes, man, and some of them episodes, it really done helped me rethink, you know, especially in relationships, you know, how y'all talk about, you know, if a woman should date a guy in this nature or should a man date a woman in this stature or should it really even matter, right?
Right.
So they really process some things about myself like, okay, how do I want somebody to see me? You know what I'm saying? How do I want somebody to receive what I do have to offer?
Right.
Well, I appreciate your show, bro. It's a very powerful show.
Well, I appreciate it, man, because I'm be honest with you, I didn't even think it was going to do what it does. I didn't, you know, I just made it just because I was doing this. I was always talking my stuff. But what I do when I do talk about it, I've already done my research over it and everything. So I try my best to, you know, look at a bigger picture. I look at what's going on, what's actually going on, what's happening. You know, then once I watch that and see that, now what I do is I do my research on that. I do my study. Now I get what I need from it, bring it together. Then I go by how I will resolve that situation or how I'll go back about that situation. What's up, Amon?
What's up, brother? I was in the middle of nowhere, USA. I'm back on the road.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's. Well, with that being said, man, that video there, it brought a lot of stuff to my head. But we're gonna go to the next video. This might be triggering.
How long does it take a woman to completely forget a man? What I'm going to say next may hurt you. If a man forgets a woman, it may take a year, 3 or 5 years, or even a whole lifetime. But for a woman, all it takes is for another man to appear in her life to forget a man who was once good to her. That's the reality. How long does it?
Wow. That was wild.
So I want to get this, you know, I want to put her on the spot, but you know, since you're the only woman on the show tonight, I want to get your perspective of that.
I don't think so. I don't think it takes another man for you to really get over another one. Sometimes you gotta take that break and not deal with any man, so you could fully heal and become what you want to attract. If you want somebody with different qualities, you have to become that person.
Okay. Well, and now I feel like that what you're talking about. I mean, that's actually right, but I feel like that's a small percentage that does that. That actually take the time and heal themselves. You know,
yeah, it is rare
because healing it takes years. It takes a lifetime. You know. So I feel like you're talking about a small percentage. Unfortunately, what I've seen and what studies have shown is a lot of times a woman that leaves a man, and she got a new man comes into play, and it don't matter what time, what period it is. A lot of times, if this man is good, and the last man was good, something was bad that she left that relationship. It's easier for that woman to forget about that man. Men tend to hold on longer. Men tend to, dwell on that and want that woman. So a lot of times we tend to not get over a woman as fast as a woman get over a man. That's what studies have shown, and that's what I've seen in my lifetime.
I think both parties may use that tactic, right?
Yeah.
To be with somebody else to try to forget the other person. But even in that, you still need the healing from that last situation.
That is true.
Bring some to a situation that's very toxic, right? You probably not even really ready. You probably do like Bryce said, you need that time, man. But we don't really take that time. We trying to get over that hurt. We trying to get over that pain fast as we can. And one of the substances that we use is another human body.
The flesh. Yes. That's true. That is true. I do feel like that. Because a lot of times I just feel like we try to take another person to fill that spot, to fill that void of what we missing from that last person and try to have them feel that. And I feel that's wrong that we take this person, I take this woman to fill that void that this woman done left my life that I really still wanted or want to be with, or she just gone. I feel like I'm making her suffer because I'm not healed.
It can happen like that.
Or vice versa.
It can happen like that.
Yeah, like taking your baggage from one situation to another.
Yes. And a lot of times that's what happens. You take baggage. Don't get me wrong. Everybody have baggage. But what of that baggage are you willing to deal with? And what are you not? That goes back into boundaries. Let's go back. So we got one more video for the night, and we're gonna shorten it up tonight. And tonight was a really good night, y'all. We got one more video.
Do you want to know what hurts the most? Feeling someone slowly lose interest in you. They stop asking how your day was. They stop checking in to see if you're okay. They don't show interest in the conversations that you have with them anymore. It's like they're slowly backing out of your life and there is nothing you can do about it. That hurts the most.
Let me get y'all perspective.
I think it ain't even them communicating with you. It'll be the lack of communication. They do a whole flip mode and change on you. The intimacy stop. I mean, the little simple things. For me, sitting on the couch, laying in the bed, and you kind of cuddling. Where they throw you, where the woman put her leg on your leg or something like that. It's like, don't touch me, don't kiss me. It's real little bit simple clues when you have them kind of moments, and that goes both ways too.
Yeah, I say this like that goes into what you're saying, consistency. If I know every day you touch me this way, every day, anytime you walk by me, like. I put a perspective like this way. I had a woman that I was dealing with, and I like that video because it resonated with me because I kind of did that, before. Consistency is everything. If I grab on her butt, her behind every day, every time I walk by her, or I try to hug her or kiss her or have some type of touch every day, every time I pass her, and then I don't do it, okay, this day or that day, a person's gonna feel like you're trying to pull away from them. Because I feel like just as much as communication, consistency goes into going into that. What y'all think?
Yeah. Also, a person could push you away from them.
That is true.
I think a romantic relationship is very much like a business relationship.
Of course.
Or running a business, right? And there used to be a saying that people say that eventually you may have to spice it up. You know what I'm saying? So to even keep people interest in business, right, you have to reevaluate where you standing at and have to provide different ways or different levels of attraction to keep your audience or your customers entertained. So that would be the same way in relationship. Like you can't really get dull in your experience of your sharing or your giving to that individual. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the person to take the initiative to have the willingness, right, to make this thing work. And then as a brother said, the lack of communication, you got to be willing to communicate, right, and make sure this person understands where you're coming from and what you're asking for. And then y'all got to be able to, work that out.
That's big facts. I agree with that. I totally agree with that, man. Yeah, that's I don't even know what to say behind that because I totally agree with that, yo. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anything else y'all want to talk about, anything y'all want to get off your chest, because tonight is open. So, you got anything you want to talk about business wise?
I share. The school that I talk about, right? Urban Developmental Institute, we will be launching next month, the second week in June. you know, and it's all about just structuring people's business and getting them set up right and getting them to understand the levels of business, right, and what it takes to really operate a business and focus and being ready to be fundable, right? Same thing we just talking about, you know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to put yourself out there, as we talked about earlier, about taking those risks. And that's what, you know what I'm saying? I want people to understand that we, coming from our community, right, we need to take more risks, right, in business ownership, right, and focusing on wealth, right, and leaving a legacy behind. You know, yeah, and also, man, just appreciate you, Shorty, man. You know what I'm saying? I like the work that you're doing, bro. I'm very amazed in your commitment, right, and your development stages, man. I learned a lot from you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I'm still, hey, look, I want everybody to know, hey, I ain't perfect. I'm still a work in progress, y'all. Still a work in progress. You know, because I feel like you always gonna be a work in progress, and I'm definitely ready to start learning from you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting running. Cause hey, I want everybody to know. Lamar, you speaking? I can't hear you. I think you on mute, Lamar.
He might be bobbing his music right now. He might be in his zone right now.
No. But you know, so I'm definitely ready to learn from you and start doing stuff in the community. I want the Shorty Logic podcast, family, friends, Facebook, YouTube, the metaverse out there. I want everyone to know. Me and him was definitely about to do some great things together. We gonna be out in the community, and we definitely gonna be doing pop balloon show. You know, we're gonna be doing dating, speed dating. We're gonna be doing like business classes and everything that you want to do. So we definitely want to get into that. With that being said, y'all, we basically hit another hard one tonight. So the Shorty Logic podcast, we out of here.